This is the moment that life begins. A new human being has come into existence. At fertilization, her gender, ethnicity, hair color, eye color, and countless traits are already determined. She begins to implant in the uterus about 1 week after fertilization. Her cells organize into what we call an embryo. At 3 weeks and 1 day, just 22 days after fertilization, Olivia's heartbeat can be detected.
From conception to labor, your baby is constantly growing and developing. Around the 5-week mark, your baby's heart will begin to beat. At 27 weeks, they'll have regular sleep and wake cycles. And at 39 weeks, your baby will be physically developed. Use this timeline to learn how your baby is developing throughout the pregnancy. For the first few weeks of what is counted as your pregnancy, you're not pregnant yet. This is the time between the first day of your last period and when you ovulate and conceive. Over the next several days, the fertilized egg will start dividing into multiple cells as it travels down the fallopian tube, enters your uterus, and burrows into the uterine lining. You're now about 4 weeks from the beginning of your last period. This ball of cells, called a blastocyst, has begun to produce the pregnancy hormone HCG. This hormone tells your ovaries to stop releasing eggs and can be detected by a pregnancy test. A mere 16 days after conception, your fetus's neural plate forms. Think of it as the foundation of your baby's brain and spinal cord. The neural plate folds onto itself to form the neural tube, which closes by about week 6 of pregnancy, to eventually become the brain and spinal cord. Folic acid is one of the B vitamins that help form this neural tube. Because your baby's nervous system starts developing right out of the gate, it's important to consume 400 micrograms of folic acid daily before getting pregnant, and up that amount to 600 micrograms once you do. This can reduce certain defects of the brain and spinal cord by more than 70%. At 2 months pregnant, the cluster of cells that will become your baby's heart has begun to develop and pulse. Your baby's face and buds, which will eventually be limbs, begin to develop. Organs such as the brain, sensory organs, and the digestive tract begin to take shape. Your baby has what looks like a little tail. It will recede after a few weeks and form the tailbone. At 3 months pregnant, the embryo already has a human appearance. The limbs, hands, feet, fingers, and toes are recognizable. Their skin is so thin that you can see the blood vessels beneath it. Though reproductive organs have begun to form, they can't yet be determined on an ultrasound or sonogram. By the end of the 3rd month, your baby is fully formed. They weigh about an ounce and are 4 inches long. Since your baby's most critical development has occurred, your chance of miscarriage drops considerably after 3 months into the pregnancy. During the 2nd trimester, very fine wisps of hair appear on your baby's body. This is called lanugo and plays a critical role in protecting the fetus from damaging substances found in amniotic fluid. Your baby's senses, smell, vision, touch, taste, and hearing, are developing, and they may be able to hear your voice. Your baby's eyelids are still fused shut, but they can sense light. If you shine a flashlight on your tummy, they'll move away from the beam. Their movements have gone from flutters to full-on kicks and jabs against the walls of your womb. Ultrasounds done at 4 months pregnant may reveal your baby's sex. Here you are in your 7th month of pregnancy. You've come a long way. During the 3rd trimester, your fetus continues to grow in size and weight. Your baby's lungs are beginning to reach maturity, meaning your baby would have a good chance of surviving if born now. Starting in week 36, your baby gains about half a pound and grows half an inch a week. Many babies turn head down and stay in that position until birth.
And we are not going back because ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. like the fundamental freedom of the woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. And we all remember how we got here. When Donald Trump was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. They did as he intended, and now in America, 1 in 3 women lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban.
This is Olivia. Though she has yet to greet the outside world, she has already completed an amazing journey.
The Republican Party will always support the creation of strong, thriving, and healthy American families. We want to make it easier for mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America. Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby. What could be more beautiful or better than that? The Republican Party should always be on the side of the miracle of life and the side of mothers, father, their beautiful babies, and that's what we are. A great Republican Party will always be with you in your quest for the ultimate joy in life. Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that.